Hi guys, it's Antonia. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Hello, hi, and this is Antonia Disler from Uni Squad. I'm going to be talking about international students who've been wrongfully accused of cheating during their literacy English test of international students. This is taken from the Guardian website by a million gentlemen, and I'm going to go straight into it. So, students have been wrongfully accused of cheating in their visa test and have sought to fight down in Downing Street. They have actually lost their right to live and study in the UK due to being wrongfully accused. And this is done about through the Home Office centres where they had to undergo the English language test. There is an ongoing campaign for students. Over 200 students are actually campaigning to actually clear their names so that they can reside back to the UK and to continue their studies where they're left off in the universities. In actual fact, there's over 34,000 students have been accused for were wrongfully accused of actually doing their test in a ill-mannered and dishonest way, which resulted in over 1,000 students being removed from the UK, effective immediately due to the accusations conducted by the Home Office. Some of which were also arrested and detained and sent to the Immigration Enforcement Centre, where they were met with the engagement officers and then deported to their home country. Some of the words from the letter sent to to Downing Street reads, "We were innocent, but our visas were refused or revoked, and the government gave us no way to defend ourselves. Our futures were destroyed, and we were left to fight a years long legal battle costing each of us tens of thousands of pounds." It also continues to read, "The Home Office has stolen our futures, branding us frauds and forcing us to bear a lifelong mark of shame. Many of us are distraught and as destitute, barely able to survive or care for our families, having spent everything we own trying to clear our names. Many of us are suffering from severe stress and depression. Some of us have even attempted to take our own lives because we see no other way out." Can you imagine being one of those students seeking a way to go to another country, the United Kingdom, in hopes of achieving a degree where it can change not only your life, but that of your families? To sit in a test in a center after hours, days, months, even studying for this English test to make sure that you fit the bill for your degree, for your visa, whatever it entails, that's why you need to do your test. And then to be accused of cheating because of other people's agenda. Can you imagine how that must have felt for these students? That's just incomprehensible. And for the many students who've opted into taking their own lives, whether they're successful or it's just an attempt, from the time when this has started to now, we don't know. This is, I can't find or think of a word to describe this, but it's just barbaric how the government thought this was the best solution to accumulate all students, whether they were innocent or not, and treated them in this way, not giving students a fair amount of time to sit down and look at each and every individual case before deporting them to their country. Imagine returning back home to the look of your parents' faces in disbelief, or even some may actually question whether you were the one that was cheating, where you yourself know that you didn't cheat because of that disappointment that you're home early. I thought you were going to get your degree, and that may be out of anger, frustration, confusion. But the outlets and what some parents may or different family members may bring due to all these other feelings, the weight on these students' shoulders from the fear of that even happening, I personally am not surprised that some students are opting into this. It's so heartbreaking. But you can imagine the journey, not the physical journey from their country to the UK, is that mental journey that I'm going to get my family out of poverty. I'm gonna do something for my family to make them proud of me, or all these other positive feelings that you may have about your future and your family's future, to literally be snatched from you at the beginning of your journey, your physical your journey in the UK when applying for or doing your visa. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. It's so sad that students feel that there is no other way around this but to feel to take their lives. But there is no but. It's just it's just so sad. I can't begin to imagine that load, that knot in your chest where you just want to scream and yell, "I'm innocent," but this that your words are falling on deaf ears. It's just really beyond sad. It was, in fact, Stephen Timms, the Labour MP for East Ham, East London, who it was the one that delivered the letter to Downing Street on the behalf of the students, and state that this is implausible. The act of this, what the government has done, is implausible, and that 90% of those who took the Home Office tests were involved in cheating. And he is right. How can more than 90% of students who sat the Home Office visa test cheated? That begs the question, those who are exam invigilators, what were they doing? If that is true, yeah, which is not, and more than 90% of students who sat and did this test cheated, where were the exam invigilators? What were they doing? On their phone? Did they help? I mean, this doesn't make any sense. It can't happen. After all, this is in the Home Office Centre. You have official personnel everywhere. So how on earth could this happen? Over 90%. How even this reading that doesn't make any sense, and how this is made up. Anybody can read this, any judge can read this and be like, this is absolutely preposterous. In matter of fact, Stephen Timms, many of his constituents have been affected by the allegations, and stated that many of these students, their money has been cut off. They are not allowed to work and study in the UK, and most of their family life savings had been used up. So they have no means of surviving in the UK to actually get a decent British education, which is now completely gone. So you're inviting students to come into this country. Yes, they got people who are studying, who are as cheating, and I'm not dismissing that fact, because you need to clamp down on this issue. It is a big issue, and it did have this domino effect that affected everybody, but due to people's heinous act of cheating the system. But at the same time, these innocent people, their whole lives have been flipped upside down due to the acts of individuals or an organized group. And to be not treated fairly and having a justified a cause of action to listen to these students individually, that's not just. That's not just. They're out of pocket. Their mental health has been affected. They've gone back home to their country where they have people depending on them, to attain a degree and better their lives, better their family's life. This is despicable, absolutely despicable. The charity Migrant Voice have been supporting students at this time, and they have actually accumulated a mountain of evidence to support the voices of these victims, and to say that this is an injustice and it needs to be addressed with probably fresh eyes, and to be governed a lot better by with compassion and with an individualistic approach instead of this one shoe fits all manner, and that it cannot be ignored any longer. One student, Farazana Body, described her life living in Bangladesh as living in hell as she returned from London 2 years ago, having spent 3 years failing to overturn her her appeal of the allegation brought against her by cheating by the British government. This has actually resulted for Bobby to take a low paid work which she cannot support herself with and her family due to the allegations made against her. And the sad thing is, she was literally the first woman in her family to go abroad and study, and the consequences of this is absolutely dire. Well, in some good light, Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, stated that she has made a commitment earlier this year to adopt the recommendations of an internal inquiry into the cases of Windrush, to giving students cause for hope that their cases might be viewed more compassionately and hopefully fairly. Because this cannot be a repeat. This week we cannot continue with this. Right, next year we have a new wave of international students coming through. Are they going to be treated the same way when somebody else decides to cheat? This is a issue that has to be addressed for the future, not for this year or previous years to validate all those innocent people's reputation. It's for the ongoing future of international students coming to the UK, because anybody, and I mean anybody at any level of the degree, can be affected, where it's say PhD students, master students like myself as postgraduate, BA or foundation, at any level, even actually GCSEs, A level students, anybody can be affected by this. Yes, we need to crack down on students who are cheating. Yes, we need to find and strategize a way to clamp this and deter students from coming to this country, or even home students for cheating, to eradicate this problem. That is a given, 100%. There's no reason. There's nothing to justify cheating. Okay, whether it's exams, whether it's coursework, oral exam, whatever the case is, it should not happen, and it can't happen anymore. But we need to sort out an issue where, if this does happen, and it will happen at some point, whether it's locally or nationally, we need to sort a way to help students to not be victim to this branding of fraudsters, or branding of using a label against them, which is a blacklist on their name that prevents them from achieving the dream career, the prospects of helping themselves and helping their families throughout times of poverty, or just the fact of this being their family being proud of them for their achievements. They have been robbed from this because an individual or groups of people, organized or not, decided to go and cheat. So please tell me what you think about this. Please like, comment, this would be helpful, and subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification bell to be alerted to when I'm going to hit another video, which will be very soon. And have a pleasant day. And to all you students out there, stay safe during the pandemic. And I can't say enjoy lockdown, but just hang on in there. We got out the first time, we'll do it again. And I shall see you very soon.